Hey everybody, KC here. So I don't know if you saw this story in the Wall Street Journal the other day about how Parmigiano-Reggiano producers in Italy are basically looking for new ways to protect the market for their product, right? What they want to do is, because they don't want companies that are making fake Parmigiano-Reggiano to be able to say that's what it is, so they've come up with a new gimmick. And basically the idea is edible microchips. Basically, what it says is, they've been fighting against imitations for years, and now they're slapping these microchips on their 90-pound cheese wheels as part of what's called the endless cat and mouse game between makers of authentic and fake products. When scanned by a laser reader, it gives a unique serial ID that helps verify the authenticity of the Parmigiano-Reggiano cheese wheel. And, listen, food fraud is rampant out there. This is a real problem, especially for Parmigiano-Reggiano makers. And listen, I think they ought to extend this technology so it actually is usable by consumers. Consumers ought to be able to somehow scan the chip and be able to find out more about the product they have bought in the store, about its legitimacy, about its history, about its origins, and about its uses in a way that transcends what they're able to do now. Listen, I know this can be done. Okay, I don't know. 20 years ago, I was in Japan. I was shooting a video piece there. We went to a supermarket. I think I told this story on Morning News before. And basically, they had packaged tomatoes, and you could use your phone. And these were dumb phones; these weren't smartphones. To take a picture of a code on the packaging, and you could instantly find out where the tomatoes were grown, what had been used to fertilize the tomatoes, and you could see a picture of the farmer who grew the tomatoes. You could go in the beef department, and every piece of beef had a code number that was related back to the cow from which it came. Luckily, they didn't give us the name of the cow, but they told us where the cow had been born, what the cow had been fed, gave us a picture of the person who had taken care of the cow, the rancher who owned the cow. It's enormous in terms of providing transparency and information to consumers. Now, remember when I talked to the retailer in that store, and I said to him, boy, this is amazing technology. I was really blown away by it. He said, how many of your customers you actually use this to see it? And he goes, about 5%. I looked at him and I said, 5%? That's terrible. It's terrible. Only 5% of your customers are using this breakthrough technology. And he looked at me and he said, Kevin, you don't get it. Not the first time I've heard that. And he said, what you don't understand is the technology is not there for the 5% who use it. The technology is there for the 95% who don't. If you provide the information, if you provide transparency, if you provide a window into a product's authenticity and help people understand it better, you're creating a level of trust. Just people don't have to use it because they know you're being transparent. That was a powerful lesson then. It's a powerful lesson now. And the industry, retailers and manufacturers alike, ought to do a hell of a lot more in terms of providing that kind of transparency to consumers. If they're going to establish trust, which is the most important thing a food producer and a food retailer can have, that's what they have to do. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.